Okay, maybe it's a dumb weekly thing to do, but no one else is doing it. It's Thursday. It's 8:30 in the morning. It's the 24th day of August in the year of our Lord Steve the Cat. And I am your host, the OGGM, coming to you live from Site B on a Thursday, a cold, rainy Thursday morning. And it's Dice of the Day. Every Thursday, we take a look at the weirdest dice we can find. Though we're running out. We're running out of weird dice. I mean, I could just show you more and more of the weird metal dice for a while. But eventually we're going to have to start making fun of the folders and journals too. But we're still focusing on dice right now. Today's question is, what is the largest dice ever made for a tabletop role-playing game? Or just in general. So gambling dice have a very strict, very, very strict series of things they have to go through before they can be used in Vegas or anything else where they are legally sanctioned dice. Same with chess or any other game, except us. Tabletop role-playing game, there is no organization or no official ruling on how big or how small or how ridiculous the dice can be. As long as everybody on the table is okay with them, there's nothing really saying you can't use that dice, other than your mom yelling at you for rolling those metal dice across her table and ruining her linoleum. So let us see what is the largest dice that has ever been used. And obviously, probably the largest one's going to be made as a D20, but there's also some pretty ridiculously sized D6s. So this is a giant D20 foam dice. It's available on an Etsy. Nope, it's not going to show it to us. Okay. So we got this super large D6. This super large D6 was used in a Dutch supersized Monopoly. We've got these giant wood dice. These are 3.5-inch wood dice. Most of these are going to be D6s probably. Again, this is the largest collection of dice. I'm sorry, I didn't ask that. These are so far the biggest dice. It looks like they're about the size of a computer monitor. Here's those wood ones again. Here is a 940 by 788 inch dice. That sounds like it was a chair. Here is a 70 millimeter giant dice. Here is a promotional giant wooden dice. No measurement given, but looks like at least the size of at least a foot. Here's a 4.28 millimeter D30. No, it's a D100. Here's some more giant wood dice. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be mostly wood dice. Let's see if we can see largest D20 ever made. At the world's largest dungeon, I didn't ask that. I asked what was the world's largest D20. Nobody really cares about the world's largest dungeon. That thing came and went too fast, and it turned out it wasn't the largest anyways. All right. So there's this. If this is real and not photoshopped, no measurements though, but we've got this guy who looks like Eric Bress standing next to this dice. Average human, 5 feet ish, 5'6", 5'11", so 5'11" dice. So I think the biggest question with dice, with these ridiculous dice, would be, can you roll them? If I roll this, does it actually roll randomly as a D20? I mean, I don't know how many people it would take to roll it, but yeah, okay. This is a large stainless steel dice, 30 millimeters, it says. I don't know if that's accurate. Here is some BF D20s. Looks like they are the size of a Lego man. This claims they are the largest dice ever made. This comes from Zuccotti. That one is a huge stainless steel dice from Steve Gannon, homemade. No measurements given, but it appears to be at least the size of a computer. That's the same one. Again with the same one. Okay, yeah. All right, here's this one. This is a giant D20. Big enough for that guy to hug. Again, no measurements. This was taken 6 years ago at a convention, it looks like. Now, that guy looks like he's about 5 foot something. So it's a little bit smaller than him. I'm going to say probably comes up to his chest. So 3 feet, 4 feet. That's still pretty big. The metal one again. The metal one seems to be the biggest. At least that's the one they got the most pictures of. Why? I would think there would be a foam dice that would be bigger. Here's one. Not made from metal. That looks like it's made from some type of fake gemstone. Again, no measurements given, but it's the size of a toaster. This one's 35 millimeter. This one's 55 millimeter. This one's 100 millimeter. This one is 55 millimeter. Here's the metal one again. Steve Gannon is definitely, I guess, the guy for giant metal dice. Here's the stuffed one. This was from Geek Wedding Dice. I thought we'd see more of these. I figured, it'd be easier to make the stuffed fabric dice than the metal ones. I mean, that's a lot of metal. This looks like it's made from wood. This is from 14 years ago. No numbers. Here's this one claims it's the largest dice ever. That is legal. This is the largest Dungeons and Dragons dice. This comes from Etsy. It's 3 years ago. Looks like about the size of a basketball. And this one is 6.5 millimeters. Extra large and heavy solid gold D-Twice. This is from 2 years ago. This is from Retro Greek Toys. Estimated value, $750. Ouch. No numbers on this one. That one's the size of a human head. There's that one again. This one was at Gen Con 6 years ago. No measurements. That's just a normal boring dice. There we go. See, that's the one I thought we'd see. This one from 5 years ago. This is a giant cuddly dice. No measurements. But if we're using that pencil down there as, yeah, it's not that big. Giant metal D20 dice. That one's looks about the size of a human head. There's one of the cuddly ones. That also looks about the size of a basketball. Hand. Basketball. Baseball. Bowling ball. 55 millimeter. So there you go. So there are definitely some large dice out there. Again, there's no governing board to tell us how big or how small a dice could be at the D&D table. The only thing that we need to know is that this is actually random enough to be considered worthy. So under the lack of rules, technically, if it's big enough and it actually is random, you could roll it at the game. I don't know why you'd want to. Some of these you could make a table out of, but they exist. And it appears the largest one we found, if that picture is actually real, is about 5 feet to 6 feet tall and probably weighs a couple 100 pounds. The most expensive, $1.2 million. So I guess next week we'll do the smallest. If you appreciate me looking at these weird dice for you and talking about them, let me know. If you never want to see me do this subject ever again, let me know. Until then, I think we're getting to the end of dice, aren't we? I mean, we could probably look at more weird metal dice, but after a while, it's just going to sort of get boring because there's only just so many different ways. And we have to start moving on to D&D folders and DM screens and how much of a waste those are. I don't know. If you had $1.2 million, would you spend it on a dice? Or would you spend it on, I don't know, anything else in the world? Really, I mean, I don't care how rich you are. I don't care if you're like, I bought everything. I've got $102 million just sitting in my pocket. I'll buy this solid gold dice. No, nothing justifies that. I'm sorry. If you want to buy a conversation piece for your D&D game, a $1.2 million dice, no, buy that giant Drizzt figure. That's a conversation piece. Till next time, I'm the OGGM. Let me know what you're thinking about Dice of the Week, and I'll talk to you later. Stay safe. It's raining.